Good evening, I'm Giuseppe Basile. I'm the essential you can find at the website www.flipstalker.com. I also post regularly on Twitter using the Flipstalker nickname. Good evening. Today is Tuesday, March 25th, 2014. It's 20 past 1 a.m. In Toronto. And in this video, I'm going to review for you for forex pairs, the pound versus US dollar versus the Australian dollar versus US dollar, the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, and the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. This is a daily update, and there is a follow-up on the updates I do every day and in the weekends. And in the weekends I send out a free weekly newsletter. If you want to subscribe, just take a few seconds, go to my website and subscribe to it. What you see on the screen is the pound versus the US dollar, and those who follow me know that I was looking for an important level to trade or to fail, and actually this level failed. It was the continuation of this long in the pound versus the US dollar, and we marginally failed this level. That was enough for program trading to now change direction in this market. So at the moment, that's why at the moment I'm looking for price of the pound versus the US dollar to trade 158.17. This is also an hint in relation to the euro dollar because pound versus the US dollar and euro dollar typically trade in sync, and the failure of this level is quite important. It might have also a meaning in relation to what we anticipate now for the euro dollar, and seen also the direct correlation, high correlation with the SP 500. Also the SP 500 could move lower, so it looks like all these markets are kind of aligned at the moment. So going back to this pound forex pair here, and you will remember that we have been looking at this level of resistance 166.94. starting at this level, price dipped into it but never broke 167.24, and we went into first target here, and we are continuing lower. So there is the possibility for this market to just continue lower into 164, which would be the second target, in which case I would use the lows to lows here for the next measure move short. However, there is also a possibility for this market to trade into the next sequence, measure move in the sequence, and this would be price into 165.92, and this would be very, very high probability trade short here, 165.92 with a stop above 166.23, and above this level there is always the possibility for this market to retrace all the way into the all the way halfway back here. And this, again, given the situation, given where this market is moving, is going to 158, then this a trade into 160, a price into 166.42 would be a fantastic opportunity to short this market. So keep that in mind. Moving to the 4-hour chart, there is not really a lot to say here. Actually, one important thing that we could notice is the fact that the 4-hour chart is showing a sequence of extension short here, and we had this level trading 165.57. I identified this after the fact. I'm not claiming that I could see that before, but once we got it, then we have the information on this anchor here, and price went into first target 164.82, and now it's clearly today, actually on Monday, so yesterday, it actually traded into this new trace, the new same anchor, new low here. As you can see, 165.36. So this market now has the potential to keep moving lower into 164.32 and 163.78. So to keep in mind here, if this market goes again higher into 165.36, you want to monitor it carefully. This could be a short here with a stop above 165.54, and if the level is broken, then I think we are in for a larger retrace, and as we said, this could come from highs to lows here into 165.92, but we could also witness an all the way halfway back here, and this would be again fantastic entry for this market. Moving to the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, then starting from the daily, we are seeing this market continued move higher. We had this level of support 88, which we would also identify after the fact. However, after we did that, we knew that there was a target here. On the larger time frame, there is also this level 092.11, which is a level of resistance, and surely the price will find selling at that level, because program trading is watching that level on the bigger time frame. So it's very important we keep observing these levels. Now, you will remember that, and I kindly ask you to review the weekly newsletter as well. I show in the newsletter how this wedge is forming and formed and why it formed, and at this point we see how 9010 started working, and this inner measure move here is a target that we can want to highlight here for you, and this is the 91.87, and that's very close into this area of resistance here. So the inner move is bringing price into and close to that level of target as well as that level of resistance. So this is what we can see on this market. We are almost there, so be very careful. On Sunday, identify the level of support that worked quite well and brought price into first target. So congratulations if any of you took this trade. It was from lows to highs here. That was the this is the larger time frame, and I want to show you this measure move anyway, because it's providing support to price. And but on Sunday I also provided this measure move here, which related to the pip, and today yesterday brought price into first target 191.36. This also tells us that if we now see a retracement lower here, then the next level of support is going to come from highs to highs. So in the 4-hour time frame, the next level of support is going to be 091.04. And that's what we're going to see here. Now, if we study the 15 minutes, we can see whether the current sequence of measure move has failed. There is not really a lot of structure here on this market. I mean, there is a sequence of measure move, and for sure we can actually model. Let's see how we can model this measure move here, whether from this level or from a higher level. And I'm going to use this level here, and as we can see, price went into the first target, and it's a typical case in which we get a failure, and then on the 15 minutes we get the first target hit. As you can see, the next measure move failed, the 91.25, price went below it, but then price was brought anyway into first target here. I call this a basket setup, and when that happens, then there is a very high probability that we are going to retrace into the old halfway back. So there is a possibility here for a trade, and we need to see what happens when price will get into 091.04. When it gets there, if the sequence of measure move fails, then there is going to be an indication of support and then a continuation higher, and then we can explore again the target in the 4-hour chart. As you can see here, there is a sequence of measure move. I'm going to show you this tomorrow, but we're moving lower here, and as we get to this level and break it, there is going to be a signal to enter long. Australian dollar, sorry, Canadian dollar, US dollar versus Canadian dollar here, still correcting, and there was a wedge here on top of a support that I was able to identify with the more than 2 weeks in advance here. So review previous newsletters, and actually if you subscribe to the newsletter, you'll get also the last 6 newsletters, and you can review how I identified this 109.15 in advance, and it worked very, very well. After that, market formed this wedge, and at the moment I'm still looking for a continuation higher, and one level I identified is this all the way halfway back here. Now, as you can see here, price is finding support around this level, and so one could make the case that there is a trace maybe from this level. Let's test it. And actually this is the level, the previous highs before this move higher, and we could actually use this level. One of the reasons for that is also that bears here failed to hold this market, and then bulls failed to hold this market, and it means that now we are in a wedge. That's the actual definition of a wedge. It's not just tracing lines on a chart, and that's what I see at the moment. So this 111.69, it's quite a solid level for me. So if we get there and we break the sequence of measure move, then there is going to be a long which is going to bring price of US dollars, Canadian dollar higher here, and this would be in line also with renewed strength in the US dollar. Finally, New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. Those who follow me will remember that in the last few days I've identified a level of support. This is an extension long, and the justification of this level is that we have a sequence here. We had one level of support which could only be identified after the fact, but after identified that, it was very useful, because then we could actually study the sequence of measure move on the smaller time frame here, which would be priced into 0.8451 and also 0.8548. I suggested also a trade here from this level to highs, and actually this trade got into first and second target here, as you can see. It was a little bit sloppy, but actually it worked, and a better trace would have been from these highs to highs, and eventually we adjusted that, and we got price into first and second target. Then we had this violation of the next measure move, and then we knew that program trading would look at a higher time frame here. So the level that I traced to 2 days in advance was this one, and price got participation here twice, so there's a possibility for this market to continue higher. Of course, if the US dollar is going to strengthen here, we could actually see this level 0.8486 being pierced on the downside, and that would mean bigger retracement. Also notice here that shorts have played, so at the moment we have this market bouncing between these two levels. So it's 0.8515 or 8570, so it's a 55 pips range here, and notice that if this 0.8485 fails, then this market is going to move at least into the next measure move here long, and this would be 0.8345, and would be also aligned with strength in the dollar. When we look at the 4-hour chart, we can see the two levels here. We can see support and resistance. Resistance, what you see there, and the market actually is trading that level at the moment or at the open of the market. And actually very quickly we can actually look at the 15 minutes chart here to see what is the sequence, what is the failure. And when I trace from lows to highs, we see that this level, the 085.35, it's the failure. I hope this video was useful. I wish you a very good trading day and week, and goodbye. Thank you.